Hello everyone, Kireth here, and I want to talk to you about the big drama in Gran Turismo 7, about microtransactions and about grinding. I feel like it's important to give my perspective because I'm one of the biggest Gran Turismo YouTubers in the UK. I spent 500 hours last year playing and streaming Gran Turismo Sport. I've been a huge fan of the Gran Turismo series for a long time, and I've also been making a lot of videos about Gran Turismo 7 and it being online only, the credits, the tuning, the microtransactions for a long time. So I'm possibly one of the best people to speak about this in terms of the comments that I've seen on all those videos, people in Discord that have made their opinions clear, etc. And I've always said that Gran Turismo has a soul. You know, it's more than a game. It's a way of life. It connects people. It is a positive thing for the world, Gran Turismo, in terms of bringing people together like that. And I feel like Gran Turismo has lost its soul, or Gran Turismo 7 doesn't have that soul. It's interesting when you compare it to Forza. I was a huge fan of Forza Motorsport 3. Incredible game on the Xbox 360. Car culture, tuning, upgrading, just really captured me. And yet since then, I think it's fair to say that Forza has kind of lost its way. Definitely doesn't have an inverted commas soul. It's been a lot about DLCs and credits and marketplaces, etc. And Gran Turismo hasn't been like that. Gran Turismo Sport was criticised for throwing too many cars at players. Every day you get a car on the wheel. It could be an amazing McLaren and Mercedes F1 car. It could be a starter car. But every day you'd get a chance to get a car free, and it could be an amazing car. Now, Gran Turismo 7, I've said for a long time, seems to be pushing us towards spending real money in microtransactions. I've made videos on that before. I spent over £60 in microtransactions because as a streamer and content creator, to make the videos, I need to have the cars. And this is going to be my first hot take. There's a lot of people who comment on my videos in the Discord, people watching right now. You might be one of them. Where to them, the grind is a fundamental part of the game. So I've had people saying, if you grind 1 hour a day for a month, you'll be able to afford a legendary car. And other people saying grinding is part of the game. And now the concept to me of grinding is doing something that is inherently not the most fun bit in the game to either build XP or get credits to unlock something that is more enjoyable. I fundamentally don't like grinding myself. And I feel like for a lot of people who have jobs, families, limited times to play computer games, grinding is a little bit offensive. The idea that you pay for a game and then a large proportion of that is locked behind kind of menial, repetitive, fundamentally unenjoyable parts of the game to get there. And then when you bring microtransactions in the mix, obviously it's pay to shortcut. And I'm someone that has paid to shortcut Gran Turismo 7. So I spent £60 on microtransactions, 8 million credits. I was able to get the GT3 cars early. In the daily races, able to use whatever cars I wanted, progress through the career quicker. And if you're someone that, for very good reasons, either doesn't have the money to spend on microtransactions because they're expensive, or doesn't want to, then your only other option is to grind. And that's what I find offensive. It seems a little bit insulting to say to some players, hey, other people can afford to just shortcut this and get access to that content, but you're going to have to do something unenjoyable to earn your way to get there. And so that's when I see people say, and a lot of people say this, and you might be one of them, the grind is part of the game. If you grind every day, you'll get those legendary cars. I don't know. I want to compare it to FIFA, which is a game that I used to be very good at. I used to play Weekend League quite a lot, which is like the competitive then to the esports aspects of it. FIFA had a criticism being too grindy. But fundamentally, FIFA is a game where you play football matches. And the grind was playing more football matches. And football matches are kind of in FIFA always enjoyable to some extent. That's what the game is about. It's about playing football. Gran Turismo 7's grind involves you doing repetitive challenges, Fisherman's Ranch, Special Stage Route X, that basically are just there to give you the most credits per hour. And these races are not the most enjoyable, and you do them again and again and again and again and again. You don't have that variety. It's actually very different to the grind in FIFA. The grind in FIFA, if you really enjoyed the gameplay of a match, was very dynamic and very enjoyable. The grind in Gran Turismo 7, again, just seems a little bit offensive. And I've got on screen here, this is the statement that's come out in Gran Turismo 7 because of the recent update, and the game was entirely offline 24 hours. I've also made videos on that months ago about what online only would mean for Gran Turismo 7. And what they've said is, in Gran Turismo 7, I would like to have users enjoy lots of cars and races, even without microtransactions. That even is doing a lot of heavy lifting. So let me know in the comments what you think about that sentence. In Gran Turismo 7, I would like to have users enjoy lots of cars and races, even without microtransactions. Again, it kind of, I can't explain it, but it seems to be that if you're happy to pay for microtransactions, you're in the VIP lane. And if you're not, you're in the pleb lane. So there we go. At the same time, the pricing of cars is an important element that conveys their value and rarity. So I do think it's important for it to be linked with real world prices. Now, this is a thing about gaming, and I really want to make this point clear. So I was a huge fan of Gran Turismo 4. Like I said, I was a huge fan of Forza Motorsport 3. Now, those games, well, Gran Turismo 4 was not an online game, and Forza Motorsport 3, I never played it online. I didn't have Xbox Live. Now, in that context and at that time, single player kind of earning credit gameplay was very different to what it is now in terms of the context. YouTube wasn't a thing when Gran Turismo 4 came out. The iPhone wasn't a thing when Gran Turismo 4 came out. If you think about how much you use your smartphone and how much you watch YouTube in your daily life. So the competitors of time were very different. You know, back then, to kind of sit in front of your console, in front of the TV, sit down and have a great session of single player kind of gameplay, earning those credits, really thinking about what you were going to upgrade, doing the upgrade, using that upgraded car to get you more credits, think about the cars you really wanted, inch your way there. That was very enjoyable, and I really enjoyed it. I loved that in Gran Turismo 4, and I loved it in Forza Motorsport 3. 2 games that I played exclusively in single player. In 2022, single player is different because there's more competitions on your time. You've got your smartphone, you've got YouTube, you've got other forms of entertainment. And also multiplayer exists. And Gran Turismo 7 is a game that I think is going to always have a uncomfortable relationship with multiplayer, because it wants to balance this unattainability of exclusive cars with a competitive multiplayer mode. And that is a very issue that FIFA suffered with. In FIFA, the best players' icons are very, very, very expensive, and they help you perform better on the pitch. In Gran Turismo 7, I really hope we don't get there, but we might have races in championships where the best cars are the legendary cars, and they're very, 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 very expensive. And that will segregate the community. And it's not like it was before, where you didn't have that competitive aspect, you didn't have those competitions in your time. So I don't think it's the same as comparing with how things were in GT4 days. I want to make G7 a game in which you can enjoy a variety of cars lots of different ways, and if possible would like to try to avoid a situation where a player must mechanically keep replaying certain events over and over again. This is a really controversial statement, but I agree with it. I don't fundamentally understand this enjoyment of the mechanically replaying events in a way that the grind is good, and the grind will be worth it. Again, you compare it to FIFA, at least the grind is what you do to have fun. It's exactly the same. But to mechanically replay events like Special Stage Route X or oval events where you put an elastic band on your DualSense and have the car going around. That in itself is not really fun. If you find that fun, let me know, but that's not fun. So this kind of like pugilistic, I must incur pain to then really enjoy spending the credits, I think it's really dangerous, because it puts so much pressure on when you're going to spend the credits and the time you've invested in that car. I mean, someone made a calculation in our Discord, and by the way, such a great debate on this in our Discord. 1,700 sim races in the kirethkart Discord. Join it in the link below if you're not already there. Someone did a calculation whereby the amount of credits that I've spent on Gran Turismo 7, this is absolutely shocking. The amount of credits I've bought in Gran Turismo 7, again, for reasons of content and giving back to the community in terms of making content, but has saved me a month compared to someone racing every day in the evening. So I've shortcut a month with full microtransactions. And I'm enjoying those cars, I'm driving them, I'm having great racing online in these expensive cars that are 450,000 credits a pop. And that person that is grinding every day, or let's say, really it's a hypothetical person that's grinding every day for an evening, they're grinding, they're at Fisherman's France, they're at Special Stage Route X, while I'm out there in the daily races racing my GT3s. And then a month later, when I've moved on to something else, some other cars, then they're going to be able to afford those things. And they'll have gone through all that pain, and will it really be worth it? I just don't think we need that. And, Gran Turismo Sport, yeah, it threw cars at us. But the issue with Gran Turismo Sport is it didn't give us enough reasons to race those cars. And I've made videos on these before. Some of these videos have got hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. It gave us all these amazing road cars. Ferraris, Lambos, Astons, you name it. Jaguars. And it never gave us a reason to race them because single player was so bare bones. And in Gran Turismo 7, they give us more reasons to race cars because the racing is better, especially for road cars in single player. It's way more alive. The dynamic weather is so good, both the dynamic time of day progression, also the dynamism of the weather. And yet, they make it so hard to get these cars. And Gran Turismo 7 isn't the real problem here. And it's never really had this problem before, I think. I mean, Gran Turismo Sport was a game that did alienate a lot of the Gran Turismo community. And that's something that I've realised through doing a lot of my videos. I've been connecting more with that original Gran Turismo community. And for them, Gran Turismo Sport just didn't offer enough. But Gran Turismo Sport was still a game that was very coherent. It was about providing the best online racing platform on console, and it smashed it. The racing Gran Turismo Sport was just so good, and that's why I spent 500 hours of my life there last year. Gran Turismo 7 has this conflicted element to it. It feels conflicted. It has a single player aspect where you go through the cafe. Then it has multiplayer, which has tuning, which is controversial. And then you have roulette as part of a mechanism to win upgrades and win cars and win credits. Then you have the limited edition options to purchase cars, which are very expensive. The legendary cars, which are insanely expensive. And microtransactions to buy credits. Microtransactions were in Gran Turismo Sport, but they did feel very optional. I could see someone using microtransactions in Gran Turismo Sport if they were creating a new account and they wanted to buy a few cars. But in Gran Turismo 7, I just don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. But in Gran Turismo 7, I would like to have users enjoy lots of cars and races, even without microtransactions. Why are the words "even without microtransactions" there? In Gran Turismo 7, I would like to have users enjoy lots of cars and races. Okay, great. I don't know. I feel conflicted. I'm in a different position because, for me, I'm very lucky. These videos have adverts on them. Over time, the adverts will hopefully pay for those microtransactions. So I'm in a very different position, and to make content that you enjoy I need to have different cars and stuff like that. But I always on this channel try and stand up for the honest, hard-working man or woman who's coming home in the evening, gets a limited window to play some days a week. And for that person, a lot of Gran Turismo 7 is locked off. So I just don't know. I'm worried. I feel like Gran Turismo 7 has kind of lost that soul. I mean, if we go to the Legends place here, the F40, which I wanted to buy, has sold out. The XJ13 is 12 million credits. So 12 million credits, if I wanted to buy that, would be 6 of these at £16. So that's £90. That's £90. Let me know if I got that maths really wrong. I really hope I didn't. But that's £90. This car is £90 to buy at Microtransactions. And if you're a kid and you've had this, you've seen photos of this legendary car and you really want to drive it in Gran Turismo 7, maybe you saw it in videos and whatnot, maybe you'll see streamers drive it and content creators and you'll want to drive it. How long is it going to take you to earn 12 million credits in Gran Turismo 7? It's going to take you a ridiculously long amount of time. So that's 12 million. I would appreciate if someone in the comments can do this quick maths. That's 12 million credits. Let's say hypothetically, we do a race at the Nürburgring, a custom race, the 24-hour version, and we do it at the hardest difficulty level. You would win. Bear with me. You would win 9,000 credits for winning. And this is a 2-lap race. And so a 1-lap race. So that's going to be, in most cars, more than 7 minutes, 8 minutes. So about 8 minutes. You're talking about 1,000 credits a minute. So at a rate of 1,000 credits a minute, how long would it take you to earn 12 million credits? It's a little bit... I feel sad. I feel sad about it. And doesn't feel like Gran Turismo, does it? I'm gonna still, have lots of fun in the game. I really enjoy competitive sport modes. We'll be doing the nation's manufacturers. We'll be doing more kind of wacky single-player races. Absolutely love being in escapes as well. But I just don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think about that, because I'm speechless, really. I'm speechless. But there we go. Keep the debate going, because maybe there's an opportunity for the community to shape Gran Turismo 7. We will see. But until next time, happy racing, and I'll see you next time.